In ancient Greek times, people believed that the Furies, a strong pantheon of gods, torture and punish those who murdered close relatives. They showed them appalling dreams, haunting visions, and tormented them with fear and worry. Alexandre Cabanel beautifully portrays this myth in his artwork. The young man appears as a victim of Furies' torture, tormented for killing his own mother. The Furies relentlessly pursue him, thereby making his life a nightmare to fulfill demands of justice. This artwork was painted in 1846, during a time in post-revolutionary France when society was questioning concepts of justice, punishment, and revenge. Cabanel drew a parallel between the situation of the French people and the tragic story of a cursed Greek family. In this myth, a father sacrifices his daughter, leading the mother to kill her husband in revenge, and later, the son kills his mother. This cycle of vengeance mirrors the turmoil in France. The young man in this artwork was a Greek prince named Orestes, the son of Agamemnon, the king of Mycenae, and the leader of the Greek army during the Trojan War. The conflict between the Mycenaean Greeks and the city of Troy began in the 13th century BC when King Agamemnon moved his army toward Troy. On the way, he killed a sacred deer belonging to Artemis, the Greek goddess of the hunt. This act enraged Artemis, and in retaliation, she sent strong winds in the wrong direction, preventing the Greek ships from sailing. It was believed that Agamemnon needed to make a great sacrifice to calm the winds and appease Artemis. He made the heart-wrenching decision to sacrifice his own daughter, Iphigenia. However, this decision left his wife, Clytemnestra, consumed with grief and anger, setting the stage for a cycle of vengeance and tragedy. While Agamemnon was away at war, Clytemnestra grew in resentment. She turned to her lover, Aegisthus. Then, when Agamemnon came home, Clytemnestra and her lover killed him in the dead of night. On hearing about his father's murder, Orestes felt a strong obligation to avenge him. On talking it over with his elder sister, Electra, he went home and killed both his mother and her lover. Orestes believed he was obliged to do this. He was, however, overwhelmed by the weight of having to kill his mother. Overcome with guilt, he sank into a great depression. The gods didn't let him off lightly. The Furies, goddesses of vengeance, chased him relentlessly, forcing him to live in an almost perpetual state of torture and agony. Look at the art. Orestes sits on a marble structure, probably a funerary monument, his body tense and twisted under the weight of both physical and emotional strain. His muscular physique conveys strength, yet his defensive posture, with one arm outstretched, reflects vulnerability. It seems as though he is trying to escape this terrifying moment, his face frozen in horror as he encounters the terrifying visage of a Fury. His stretched-out arm struggles to resist unperceivable powers and expresses the extreme guilt and self-torture which consumes him. Underneath Orestes' feet, there lies the dead body of his mother along with her lover in shadows. These symbolize irrevocable violence he committed. His nudity increases the level of guilt, for he was naked, reminding the viewers of such unforgivable acts, and at the same time, burdened with such moral wrongdoing. Included within the artwork is the stern-faced deity in the background. These are the Furies, Roman goddesses of vengeance. In Latin, they are called dirae and are formed with a terrifying appearance. The Furies relentlessly chase after victims to drive them into a mental state of insanity. Within Greek mythology, the people were referred to as Erinyes. In Greek and Roman antiquities, they were represented and symbolized justice as they kept the natural world from chaos. Cabanel highlights Orestes as the central figure through stark chiaroscuro, symbolizing his inner conflict. Avenging his father elevated him as a hero, yet killing his mother brought immense tension and guilt, reflecting his complex moral struggle. The Furies come out from the darkness as the supernatural forces of guilt that haunt him. One Fury cruelly brings out the nude body of his mother, which intensifies his anguish. This is an awful sight that deepens the guilt of Orestes, a calculated form of torment inflicted by the Furies to punish him for his actions. This is how the sword lying on the floor symbolizes violence and murder, representing Orestes' crime of killing his mother and also a reminder of past bloodshed. The laurel wreath on the head of Orestes, once a symbol of triumph and honor in ancient Greece, now symbolizes his hollow victory. Cabanel uses this to represent the emptiness of Orestes' revenge. Although Orestes did avenge his father's death, the psychological and moral cost makes his accomplishment empty and burdensome.